Hello everyone. Good morning. I hope you're doing well today. I hope your day is going great. And if not, I hope this podcast makes it better. So today we're learning about the Eurasian Pygmy owl. It is the world's smallest owl, and it has a dark reddish to grayish brown fur. It is a spotted owl as well. It is a very fascinating little bird. So before we go into the episode, we are going to do some breathing exercises. So if you're ready, breathe in. Hold for 1, 2, 3. And breathe out. Breathe in. Hold for 1, 2, 3. And breathe out. Breathe in, hold for 1, 2, 3, and breathe out. I hope that this helps you relax, and I hope that now you're ready to learn about the world's smallest owl. So this owl's species name is Glossidium passarinum. It is from the family of Strigidae. So some of the species in the Strigidae family, if that's how it's pronounced, are the snowy owl, the barred owl, the great horned owl, the burrowing owl, and pretty much every other owl is from the Strigidae family. So this owl is very small. It's only about 15 to 19 centimeters of length, and its weight is nothing more than 47 to 83 grams. So it's a very tiny owl. Compared to the snowy owl that we saw in a previous episode, this owl is much smaller. Its wingspan is also 32 to 39 centimeters only, whereas the snowy owl's wingspan was 5 feet. So you can see how the difference is in size. So it's a very small owl. It has reddish to grayish brown fur, and it has spotted sides. It also has a half white ring around the back of its neck. This species is found in the white boreal forests of northern and central Europe in Siberia. So this species is mostly found in Europe, so that's why it's called Eurasian Pygmy owl. It's also found in Asia as well, so it's found in the middle stretch from Europe to the end of Asia. Some of the countries it's found in is China, Mongolia, Spain, France, Finland, Austria, etc. So this owl is a very fascinating creature. Its hunting techniques are of note, and it's also a nocturnal animal and an arboreal animal. Pretty much all birds are arboreal, except penguins and ostriches, who are semi-aquatic and terrestrial respectively. So the Eurasian pygmy owl can be found in coniferous forests of the taiga, or higher mountainous regions. So this species is found in the taiga forests, meaning mountain forests essentially. These animals are in coniferous forests, meaning forests with trees that produce conifers or cone-like seeds. An example of a coniferous tree will be a pine tree. So a coniferous forest will contain all pine trees or other trees that produce conifers. So these areas generally have cooler temperatures and higher rainfall than nearby lowland regions. So it looks like these pygmy owls kind of prefer these cooler temperatures or like a moist temperature. I don't know as to why they kind of prefer this. Maybe it makes hunting easier for them, or maybe it's just their preference to stay in a cool place like me. But this owl usually lives along the edges of clearings surrounded by moist or swampy land. So it almost all the time has a water source nearby it. So it's always surrounded by a swampy land. Speaking of water, guys, it's actually raining here. So if you hear any background noise, it's the rain here. It's pretty heavy, so I hope it's relaxing for you and not disturbing. So coming back to our pygmy owl. So I think the pygmy owl is pretty much a very water-loving creature. It doesn't know how to swim, or it doesn't like take showers or anything. Some birds, they take like bird baths and stuff, but this owl, I don't think it does. It just, I think, needs water to kind of protect it or to find prey. I'm not sure as to why pygmy owls kind of live in this area surrounded by water, but I think they do have their reasons. So these pygmy owls nest in woodpecker holes, often those of the great spotted woodpecker. So woodpecker holes are very important for the ecosystem. Even though they don't use it a lot of times, these holes kind of serve as habitats or shelter for other birds. Some other owls also use woodpecker holes to make their home or make their nests, such as the snowy owl sometimes does that. So these woodpeckers are very selfless creatures. So some of the habitats and lifestyle of the pygmy owl is they are crepuscular. So that means being active during daylight hours near sunrise and sunset. So these animals are not actually fully nocturnal. They're not active at night, but they are active between sunrise and sunset. It's kind of like the twilight hours that these animals prefer to hunt in. The pygmy owl's nutrition and diet includes mostly small mammals such as voles, lemmings, bats, and mice. They also sometimes eat small birds such as thrushes, crossbills, chaffinches, and leaf warblers. So these are all small birds that they hunt and are easily available in the treetops. And these pygmy owls' unique trait is they are able to catch birds in flight. So when birds are flying, they would just go after them and catch them, and I think that's a very cool skill to have. It's definitely not advantageous for the prey birds, but it's the circle of life, and that's how the ecosystem kind of keeps each other in check. So other prey items that they eat include lizards, fish, and insects. So now I think one of the reasons that they're surrounded by water is because they eat fish, and I think it makes it easier for them to catch fish. I've never seen them actually fish. I've never seen pygmy owls fish, but that'll be a cool thing to see. So it looks like these pygmy owls do some storing as well. They store large quantities of small mammals and birds in the food stores they collect in the autumn, and then they will use it throughout the winter. So these birds are not only good hunters, but they're also pretty smart. They store food for the winter, since winters in Siberia are very brutal. Even in other parts of Europe and Asia that they live in, the countries that they live in have very brutal winters. So it's very smart for them to kind of store their food in the autumn, and then use it throughout the winter. So their food hoarding behavior is deeply influenced by weather conditions. So they are extremely adapted for climatic changes. So these animals are not only smart, these birds are not only smart and good hunters, but also very nice adapters. So these pygmy owls practice monogamy, which means they stay with one partner throughout most of their lives. So they form pairs during autumn and through early spring. And during the courtship, the male leads the female through his territory. So this is one cool thing. After the male leads the female through his nest or territory, he will lead her into a nest hole, and the male will actually feed the female, which is really, really cool to see. There are some other species that do this. They kind of feed the females to kind of impress them and kind of gain their trust, which is really cool, I feel like. So this species is actually serially monogamous. So they kind of form bonded pairs for one or more breeding seasons. So they may stay together for a few breeding seasons and then switch to another pair as well. The male, as we saw, is territorial, and the male will actually use the nesting territory for up to 7 years, which is a very long time. The female lays about 4 to 7 eggs, generally in April. So during spring, the female lays up to 7 eggs, and then she incubates it for 4 weeks, starting when the 3rd egg is laid. So when she lays the 3rd egg, so about halfway through her egg laying process, she starts incubating them, and she incubates it for a month, and they hatch nearly simultaneously, which means they all hatch together, which is really good to see, really different to see. And then after they hatch, the female remains with them for 9 to 10 days. And again, the female is being fed by the male, which is really interesting and kind of shows how much they are bonded or how much they trust each other and take care of each other. So after 3 weeks, the young are active, and the female returns to the nest only to feed them and clean out the waste. So the female kind of tries to make them independent before they fledge. These these nestlings fledge at about after a month or after 2 months. So after they fledge, the chicks remain close to the nest for a few days before departing. So that's really cool to see there. It doesn't take a long time for these chicks to fledge or these nestlings to fledge, and they still have some amount of protection before they are on their own or are really independent. So the population of the pygmy owl is actually least concerned. So their population is stable and we don't really need to worry about them. But these animals are really, really cool to learn about and sometimes we don't really pay attention to every species of owl, but there are so many other species that have really different traits, and it's really nice to see how they all adapt and survive in one environment. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. This was just a small episode about a really cool animal or a really cool bird, which is the smallest species of owl in Europe, the Eurasian Pygmy owl. So if you want to kind of research more about it, you can go online and you can definitely see some pictures of them. They're really small, only about 15 to 19 centimeters. They're very cute as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.